Okay, so I hit record, so I guess we're going to do this now. I've kind of been putting this video off for a while, and this is technically not the first time I've recorded a video with the intention of posting it. But anyway, this is the one that you're going to probably see first, because I don't know, I just wanted it to be different. I wanted to do a lot with regards to production quality. I don't know, I'm kind of I guess a geek about it. Not really. I kind of suck at it, actually, turns out. But I've had let me just summarize, I guess, where I'm at in time. What is today? Today's April 25th. I kind of had a revelation to do this maybe like about 2 months ago to try and let's post videos online and see what we can do with that. It's going to be very hard for me to adapt to looking at this fucking camera. Mostly, I wanted to just talk about anything whatsoever. To give you a little background, if this is the first time you're seeing me, basically, I've just been pretty much alone for a while, somewhat. I mean, I worked in the military. I worked for like a year in corporate, and I've always just kind of been saving my money. I don't really live a life. I hadn't really lived much of a life outside of work. You know, I just kind of went to work, collected money, invested in the S&P 500 and other things. And, you know, I'm at a point now where financially I've actually achieved what I'm basically here to do, which is not very much. Like I wanted to build enough income streams and whatever, and this can be one of them now that contributes. And actually, and in some ways, doing this is actually making my financial plan go from like 90% successful to like 100% successful. And we'll talk about that. I'm sure somebody's interested in how do you financially, I don't know, make a decision. That's what I've been doing the last like 2 months, for the record. You know, I've been trying to figure out what's next. I just lost a job, basically. And what's next? This is the thing that I'm going to do. I've got a lot of ability to sustain myself for the time being. So I can do this and just see if it works. Even though I'm doing it, most people, just as a recommendation, do not quit your job to do this. Work your job and use your front camera to print lottery tickets for yourself every day. There's so many content creators out there who they just did this as their side thing until they went, until it worked out. And basically, I really think a lot of it comes down to just willpower to keep going when it's harder, right? That's actually just like a life philosophy, actually. Just keep going when it gets harder, because it will get easier again. And you can only get an easy life by doing hard things. Up to this point, I would say I did some hard things in terms of financial sacrifice, just the way I lived my life to get to this point. That's where I think most of my victories are, although they're pretty hollow because, again, I've been very lonely, actually. I've been pretending like I really haven't been. I do keep myself in good company, and I want to teach you. I've described myself lately, I suppose, not really normally prior to this, but I think that I'm very good at enjoying the little things in life, and I don't need big stuff to make me feel particularly happy. I do like technology. I will say that's kind of where I do spare the expenses. I've always had a nice computer because I'm a big gamer, fucking loser. That's what I like to do. Sorry, even now at 30 years old, that's what I like to do sometimes. I've been doing it the last week or two as well. Kind of getting back to that because I've just been, again, I did it a lot in college when I should have been in class a lot. Anyway, but it's just the thing that I like to do, and there's got many guys that can relate and will relate. But yeah, you do have to balance it out. And when I was in my working years, I did. I really much focused on making sure that my professional needs were met. That way I could keep getting what I needed to get done. And it worked out. But so moderation is definitely a part of the life that I'm telling you to live. This video, what am I doing it for? I just felt like I wanted to talk to people because I felt that I finally wanted to connect with somebody else. I really only talk to my brothers, pretty much, my mom. Like, I see my family closely. The people that are like very, very close to me. A group of people, less than 10 people, right? Including like 2 kids. Like, it's very small group of people that really know me in any kind of capacity. And I kind of just was longing for somebody else to know me. even if it's a bunch of strangers judging me. It is what it is. Anyway, but I find myself always kind of thinking about things, joking about things internally with myself. And I'm realizing that I'm not alone in that. Many people kind of live their lives in their heads in a lot of ways when the real thing is kind of not cutting it in terms of how satisfied you want to be with your life. But I've also seen that some people will never escape from it because they never try anything new. If I just, the next logical step, I've also described my life as being completely logical step after logical step to get me where I wanted to be. Which I suppose I'm there, more or less. Sweating a little bit. Wow, look at that. Look at it, glistens in the light. Not that these are particularly hot lights. It's actually just starting to get a little bit warmer. And I'm very cheap. That's been one of my strategies. I don't like it. I keep the fucking AC pretty much not on unless it's getting miserable. So that's part of it. But anyway, I don't know. What is there to say? I just wanted to get myself out there, and this is kind of a big jump, is saying, hey, this is what I look like too. And no matter how embarrassed I am about the stories I have told and will tell, I'm sure, I realize that they're not that bad. I mean, it's just, we all live a life. Life is hard. Life is confusing. Life is complicated. Life's embarrassing. But choosing to do something different tomorrow is essential. If you're not happy with where you are today, you have to do something so that tomorrow is more in line with what you actually want. And that's really what it comes down to for me is if I like talking, I do like it. I think that my voice sounds nice. You probably, or maybe possibly surprised that I look the way I look with the voice I have. I don't know. It is what it is. I didn't do anything. I just started talking. This is not like forced or anything like that. So please get that out of your mind. It's just how I happen to talk. And I am very like, you're probably going to see that I change it up a lot. I don't know. This is like, again, I feel like I have like, I had to do this. Otherwise I'd be like crazy or something. I am crazy maybe. Who knows? But the point is that all of these things are really just to soothe my own mind, mostly. They make me feel a little better to speak in silly voices, to modulate, to use weird terms, to make up random phrases. Otherwise, I'm just bored. I don't know. I'm extremely logical. There's like a side of me that is just like always locked in on like, is this make sense? What can make more sense about it? You know, I'm not like a genius at all. Like I'd say I'm pretty much super regular. But you know, I try and think about things and come up with some kind of conclusion about it. You know, particularly, I'm trying to apply that to what to do with the time I have on Earth. I suppose is one of them. And the only way that you can get to an outcome that you want to get to is try something new. And to do it well, I think is also part of it. Like I think you do have to like. I don't think it's as simple as just posting anything. If, let's just say that in the space of content creation, which I suppose what I'm doing, you have to do something good too, I guess. You can think of anything. There's so many examples that I have so many people that I kind of look up to. Most of them just being basically regular people who just want to talk about what's going on. And it seems like a lot of fun to do that. And I've been kind of left out of anything like that forever. You know, I basically have zero real friends. I was kind of looking at my, a lot of what I've been doing the last 2 weeks has been trying to get this computer to work. It's finally working as of yesterday. So now I have no more excuses to not do this. So I will do it, I suppose, now. Hopefully I'll post this like in short order because it needs to be done. It just needs to be done. I need to get over with. That way it starts to get easier. I kind of describe this phenomenon of like just everything gets easier the more you do it. So posting a video online gets easier the more you do it. You know, not that it's ever going to be not hard. There's probably going to be days in the weeks and years to come, whatever, where I'm going to find it particularly hard to deal with something about this job. You know, something about this is going to be a little bit make me a little unhappy for some period of time, I'm sure. because either it's not working or whatever. Somebody said something that I don't like. Reading the comments, I don't know. I'm probably not the person who should read the fucking comments. Otherwise, I'll ruminate on them all day. I don't want to do that. I just want to express my ideas, and hopefully they will resonate with you guys in some way. If I analyze something that's going on in the world, or just a movie, I've been really enjoying just like watching a TV show and telling you what I thought about it. That's fun. I mean, if I could somehow do that all day, I'd be so happy. Like, who wouldn't be? And that's kind of the point. Is I just got corporate value for some company for a little while, and okay, I worked in the military, and that was different than that, but and it was worthwhile and everything like that. But I want to go a different way now. So anyway, here I am. I don't know. We're like 11 minutes of me just not really knowing what to say. I just kind of, once the lights were set up, I came and and I was like, okay, yep, this looks mildly tolerable, other than like whatever's going back there on that little kitchen table I have. That's where like technology remnants are still kind of landed from when I opened everything up, and technology was just kind of floating all around me. I was literally working off of my floor because I had gotten too much project going on at once in terms of, I was tearing down my old computer, rebuilding my new computer. I have like this new laptop that I've been doing all this stuff on. Audio interfaces all over the place. I moved from T-Mobile internet to Starlink internet because I want to be able to spend a month here, spend a month there. I'm going to be fixing up this house for a little while longer, a lot longer even. I've got to finish the yard. I've got to do some plumbing, some electricity. I got to redo some floors. I'm investing a little bit more into this property. That's part of my financial plan, is to hold this place for a while as a primary residence. Eventually, probably transition to renting it out and moving. All of this stuff. There's so much that I consider, in one space or another, and to have never spoken about any of it and just kind of been on track, on plan, trying to make it happen, and it worked pretty much. I mean, you stick to a plan and you make it happen, it'll work out with a lot of discipline. But I'm trying to do something different. I want to be disciplined about here. I want to be happy, I suppose. Let's say that. I want to have a friend and grow to be somewhat of a happy person, not just some, I don't know, mom who no one ever knew. But it's awkward to like try and come back from where I've been. Like, and that's what's like going to be. I think you do have to kind of. I think you can empathize with it without too much work, but to actually be something that's kind of an extreme case, which is what I am. I do think I'm like an extreme case of a guy who's completely friendless, basically. Not because I'm not necessarily friendly or likable, even. I just like it became very hard to go against what had been formed. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like once you stop trying it, the idea of re-entering it and trying to then explain to people like that maybe this person that you're talking to, this first person that you've decided to say, hey, this is, you're going to be my first friend, genuinely. Like, let's just say that I had to probably have something like that. You're my first one or two friends. Like, I don't really have anybody else. And to put that onto somebody seemed like, I don't know. I think that they would run away from that, I guess. And so I'm going a different route, I suppose, because it still kind of intimidates me, and I need to get out there and do something like that. But I also don't want to I want to be around my family, which means I also don't want to be tied in this particular city that I found myself in after the military working. I don't want to be here anymore. There's nothing that ties me to this place, and I got to go. So nothing personal about it. I just got to go because there's nothing here for me. You know what I mean? I think generally. I'm just not giving it a chance, perhaps. Who knows? You can think about it however you want. But anyway, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave this place at some point when it's possible. When I am, I've also have this idea that you should, whatever it is you want to do, like let's just say you wanted to get rich at any means, you can't take any means either. You have to live within some sort of moral, ethical framework. You have to play nice with others, right? You got to play nice in the sandbox. I do think that's very important. There's a lot of people online that kind of form like a community that is kind of very divisive and just a vicious cycle of like drama. that I personally have nothing. I don't want to do anything with that. That would be like super burn. That would burn me out so bad. I bet if I had to deal with stuff like that. You know, I just want to have good times with people. I'm very much a positive thinking person. There's a lot to say about tragedies that are going on in the world and things that aren't so nice. And I guess my opinion is that you generally aren't going to gain much from belaboring these things. There are things that regular citizens can do to impact the outcomes, and we can talk about that. This video is so unfocused. But the point is, I want to be able to engage on all these topics and express myself about them, and hopefully connect with people about them, and anything else, you know. I've been very vague about who I am. I've made a lot of videos up to this point, but I've not felt good about those videos because they've just been my voice. They're either on a black screen or some shittily generated AI thumbnail because I don't know. I wanted to have some sort of, I don't know. I just needed to not be a black screen, I think is really what I was thinking at the end there. But I realized that if I use my face, I don't have to think about this problem anymore, really. You know, it's completely acceptable just to pick a still image of my face in this video, and it'll work out. So, a lot better than black screens and AI. That shit's not cool. But when you're trying to make many, many videos, I mean, in a pretty short time span, I think there were like 70 videos, but they're like, I don't know, various different lengths. All like, it was probably something like 10 hours have been posted, maybe more than that. But I've got so much more recordings that I need to go through. And one of the things that I'll try and wrap this up pretty much coming in a few minutes here. Like, what is it that I'm going to do? Well, first I got to sort through this computer, which has been out of commission for about 3 weeks, three weeks plus. I just finally got it to work again. So there's some files on this one that I did before I left to Ohio. In Ohio, I recorded some raw footage, but couldn't really publish any of it because the laptop I had was too slow. So we purchased new equipment. We'll leave it at that. You know, happy to invest a little money into this project. Hopefully it will be fruitful. If not, well, anyway. Mostly, though, this is therapeutic for me. I will say that. That's kind of where I think I want to maybe end this. Is like, if everything else fails about this, I have learned a lot about myself through this process of what it is that I'm interested in, what it is that I want to talk about, what thoughts I have that I never normally would express. Like if somebody, normally I just wouldn't engage with a thought, you know? It's like, what's the point of me even telling you what I think about that? Because I really don't care. And I don't think it's all that important what I think. But maybe if I really formulate my thoughts well, like my ideas could actually be adopted by, you know, people. You know, particularly I want to teach people how to just like, I don't know, let go and let loose and have a little fun despite all the chaos, right? I think that's one of the biggest things is what mindset you carry with you every day is basically that's what's going to make you happy or unhappy is how do you react to the stimuli around you? What is it that you do? How do you carry yourself? Can you go to sleep at night satisfied with what you did? That's the goal, I think, generally, is be able to go to sleep feeling good about what you did and excited for what's going to come next. One of my favorite little quotes to end this on, I'll kind of hit them one more time in this video. Why not? That would be appropriate. I've started to ask myself the question of like, what's the next best thing that will make my life amazing? What's the next best thing that will make me feel joy, feel connected, feel happy? And I found that there's a whole lot of things that really will make me feel that way. Exercise, taking a walk through nature, recording a video, writing a shitty joke, even doing a crappy Twitch stream sometimes with a friend could be fun. There's plenty of things that are competing for first place in terms of what will make me happy. And I think that by kind of always pursuing these things and pursuing them wholeheartedly and always evaluating, are they really the best thing for me? Because they're not always. You can trick yourself. You got to be careful when you're pursuing this too. But if you really are genuine about it and you're focusing on the total life that you're trying to live, I think that you can make it work. And there's plenty of people that you can see to learn that from. And well, I'm just here getting started, I hope. Anyway, so this is me. Yeah, I'll see you guys soon. I guess you'll see me soon for once. Bye.